Hi, I'm Dr. Zarif. You probably heard of Unapologetically Black by now. Well, we have a IamUnapologeticallyBlack.com available for you to get involved today to learn some of the things that are most important to save Black lives. Yes, save Black lives. Why? Because today we're dying at a rate that is genocidal. I know that you probably think that slavery is over, but slavery continues here today. Slavery continues because it has changed forms. It doesn't look like the old slavery, it's today's slavery. We're talking about the changing of the form of lynching, hanging by the neck. We're talking about the changing of the way that rape looks. We're talking about changing of the way that we eat. All of those have changed form, and we're going to talk about the 5 most important points to save Black lives. Stay tuned. You know, when we talk about the most important points to save Black lives, it's a very serious situation. But the things that I want to focus on are the things that we mostly have to know. The very number one thing, we must understand law. The ignorance of the law can put you in some very, very tough spots. You see, when a person is ignorant of the law, he has no empowerment. He has nothing to fight with against when you're talking to an officer with a gun, a bulletproof vest, and probably a baton and some mace. You have to understand your rights. How do you understand your rights? You have to learn the law. And in understanding the law, there are many parts of the law that we should know. For instance, the codes. What are codes? They're messages that are in code. They're not just obvious as they should be. So there can be a lot of problems there in explaining what you thought you understood and what you don't understand. And another part of that in understanding the law is to understand the Constitution. Understand all the different rules of that particular state, that city, and the federal law. Understand the amendments. And to tell you the truth, many of the officers and those who are supposed to enforce the law don't even know the law. So it is incumbent upon yourself to know the law. If you don't know the law, then you have no protection. How can you empower yourself without knowing the law? So what happens is when you have an ignorant officer and you have an ignorant citizen, violence breaks out because you have 2 people that are ignorant. And when you have 2 ignorant people together, the winner is always going to be the person who has the gun. And now that we've talked about the number one problem that we need to resolve, how do we go about resolving it? Well, for those of you that are professionals, you can simply go to IamUnapologeticallyBlack.com and register today to help these Black communities with the knowledge. You can help disseminate knowledge by teaching young children, students, families to understand how the law works so that we can reduce the killing, so we can reduce the violence, so that we can increase the peace. And that brings us to the second most important point in saving Black lives. What is it? The absence of concern. That is our number 2 problem. Whenever we continue to allow officers or anybody of the law or criminals, as far as that goes, to hurt us and we don't send a message back, then we're sending the message that it's okay to harm us. And now when it comes to a person being harmed in any kind of way, raped, shot, killed, injured, and there's no consequence, well, you're building the worst monster possible. Because when there aren't any consequences for what a person does, then it sends a signal that you can do anything to us or repeat what you just did to us. And the black community is too quiet. Where are all of the celebrities? Where are all of the professional athletes? Where are all of the pastors and the community leaders? Where are all of these people that we've made multi-millionaires? It is quiet. You can hear crickets in the community. Why? Because there is an absence of concern. And now we talked about the problem. The most important problem, the second most important problem, but what do we do about it? What do we do? What is the next step that we take? Well, the next step that we take is that we need the pastors, we need the community leaders, we need the fathers, the teachers, we need those people that want to stand out in front and lead. It's time for you to speak up. Those celebrities that aren't saying anything, the professional athletes that are quiet, we need you to care. We need you to be concerned, because if you're not saying anything, your silence equals violence. We need you to speak up and show that you really care, that you are really concerned about the outcome of the injustice that's done against black people on a daily basis. You know, when it comes to the third most important point of saving black lives, it's self-hatred. You see, not only do others kill us, but we're hating ourselves and we're killing each other. As a matter of fact, more of us kill each other than other cultures kill us. And we have to take some self-accountability. We can't whine about we're getting killed by a white cop or some other law enforcement agency when nobody is screaming or crying when we're killing each other. You see, we hate each other so much that it doesn't even matter when a black man kills a black man. We don't have anybody marching in the streets talking about another black man dead or another black child dead. We must take self-accountability. 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 Self-accountability, what does it mean? It means that we have to take responsibility for what we're doing to ourselves. As simple as that. Nobody's doing that to us but ourselves. So if you're out there marching, march when a black man kills a black man. March when a black person kills another black person. Just don't get upset when somebody else kills us. We need to show the same amount of being enraged when we kill each other. Be responsible for ourselves. And how do we solve this problem? Well, the antidote to this poison is that we have to have better role models. We have to have our celebrities make loving black cool. We must have our black celebrities say wonderful things about being black. Make it fashionable. It's a beautiful thing. Black is beautiful. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, but act like it. Remember, black is a verb. It means that we have to take action. We have to have accountability. We must have our children looking up to someone that they actually love and that they honor, but they also love and honor being black. Now we're at number 4, the most important point for saving black lives. And what is it? It's disorganization. So we talk about the problem and we're going to give you the antidote to that. Disorganization is a huge problem. What do we have in place to deal with our crises now? So we need a system in place that deals with our problems, the problems of the black community, criminal problems, problems of corruption, problems of rape, problems of prostitution, problems of anything that affects our children in a derogative way. So we need to talk about education. We need to talk about the images that we have set for them and those that we can create for them. There are many things that we can do, but first we must organize. So organization is a super important part. not only because we need a system in place right now, but we also need to be able to call upon our powers, the things that we have working for us, the strength that we have about us, so that we don't allow the continuation of our children and our families being harmed and the black men of the community being swept away to these prisons. We need to step up, and the only way we can step up and be effective is we first must organize. And as we organize, we'll find that we have more antidotes, more solutions to everything. All you have to do is get involved right now at I Am Unapologetically Black. I Am Unapologetically Black.com. Now there's other sites that may say Unapologetically Black, but I want you to look for I Am Unapologetically Black.com. You can simply get involved to get resolved at IamUnapologeticallyBlack.com. Simply just write the information there. It only takes a few minutes, and leave in the message area that you want to get involved on what level, as a teacher, as a member, as a family, however you want to help. We have to get moving right away. You see, by December the 1st, we want to have our first grand meeting. And we want you to get involved right away, because we are moving right away. We need immediate answers to the problems in the black community. Do you want to help? Well, we want you to be there. Remember again, just sign up. It's absolutely free at IamUnapologeticallyBlack.com. And now we're at number 5. The 5th most important point to saving black life is transmutation of what? Anger. Taking the anger and using it for constructive and positive reasons. Now, you have many people that would suggest that we need to have a revolution. We need to be revolutionary. We need to go out and fight. We need to go to war. All of these things are negatives, and believe me, they would cause much bloodshed during and for a war that we cannot win. Black people do not make tanks. Black people do not manufacture bullets, nor small handguns, rifles, or any type of weaponry. So does it make sense for us to go out with the little guns that we have, to even think about something that is so hideous as to murder or mass murder people? It's just absolutely not an option. What we need to do is learn how to take the anger and set up systems that we can constructively build our communities to act out in a way of expressing what the law stands for, what the Constitution stands for, what United States actually stands for or should be standing for. Remember that we have to empower ourselves by understanding the law, learning the law, and living by the law. And the second thing, we must show concern. Those people that are dancing and singing and performing and dunking and hitting the ball out of the park and catching the football, all of those things are very, very great when you are talented, but you need to speak up for your community. Show your concern to teach the people that are hurting us that we will not stand for it any longer. And number 3 is self-hatred. We must discontinue calling each other names that has nothing to do with being respectful, with being loyal, with being honorable to each other. We need to change that altogether. What we say to each other and how we treat each other is very important to the phrase, black is a verb. We need to treat each other with respect. So we must get rid of self-hatred and take personal accountability. That is, the things that you do, you are responsible for them. Nobody's doing that to you. Nobody made you go out there and do that. Stop killing each other. Start loving each other. Stop hurting each other, and stop lifting up each other. Personal accountability is germane to the growth of the black community. Now we get to number 4. Number 4 has to do with organizing. Remember, in order for us to move forward and to address the problems that we're dealing with on a daily basis, we must organize. And lastly, number 5, we must learn how to transmute our anger into constructivity, making sure that we're doing things to build instead of to kill. We need to move forward with strength. We need to move forward as one unit, and we have to come together to do that. How do we do that? Go on to IamUnapologeticallyBlack.com and sign up today. Thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Farid Zarif, and I am unapologetically black.